Everybody wants to be an astronaut. Take the long, tall train to the sun.
Hello everyone, and welcome to more for the Golden Path Internationals, being sponsored by Unfussable Narrative. Looking for a professional game master in your gaming group? Book your session now at the link in the description below. And regardless, I am the BlackShadow, your host and commentator. We are gearing up for action from Group Q. More action from Europe. Group Q, featuring players mainly from sort of Eastern Europe, Middle East, sort of that sort of region of time zones. And this should be a really fun game as well. We've had a lot of things already in the past few games. We've had some pretty tense gameplay. We've had some, some good choices, some not so good choices. I think this could be a real wild one, and I think it should be a lot of fun. Alright then, so let's go see what we got rocking here, and this looks like already an eventful row. Alright then, so big card on the front five here with Charm Directorship. That is going to be very highly sought after early on, but even so, there's some very good low-cost cards here. Jamis, we've got Truthsayer. I do like this card a lot. Voice, very strong early game. Solid going for Truth if you fancy going off the beaten path. Tech-wise, there was some decent stuff as well. Sonic Snoopers could well encourage some early Carfags. Shuttle Fleet's going to be highly contested, and Invasion Ships as well. So this is going to be a pretty busy game here. It will be Blue choosing first, taking Armor Decaz, makes logical sense if it's available. Lots of decent cards to pick up here, be hoping for a ring. What's we got available here? Duke Leto, Baron Harkonnen, Tesia, some good choices here. I wouldn't expect to see Ariana or Vernius or a Laser in this one. So Leto, I would imagine we'll see. We'll see a Baron in second position, and then first position might choose to take Tesia Vernius, I would imagine. I'm also okay with Ilban being picked 2 here. It's not the worst. Truthsayer obviously is a very nice card for him. But it might get beaten to the punch here. I expect we'll see Baron and Tesia in some format here, but we shall see. Anyways, Barsandcat to take Leto here. Kamran goes for Ilban instead, turning down the Baron. That is interesting. Well, this is going to be pretty nice for Radofix here to take either Baron or Tesia. Leto's going to keep them on their heels. But this looks really nice for Tesia. But Baron Harkonnen it will be, which seems reasonable enough. I'm not totally against this. Seems fine. I think any Baron play in a Radofix game is going to be reasonable. And we'll take the normal 2 tokens of Fremen and Spacing Guild for the Master ability. We're going to get ourselves underway. Good luck to all the players, and we shall begin. As I move my camera into the right position, I will get sources set for these. I've been a bit busy. You know how it is. Anyway, so let's go and look at opening hands here. And Baron draws hideously. Just really bad. No ring, no faction access. That's a horrible opening. So probably going smuggling. Probably and it's such a shame as well. It's one of his best combats, if not possibly his best combat in the game. The Solari influenced skirmish. So that's going to hurt there. Ilban's going to get first crack at forward space here, and does not have his Seek Allies in hand, so he'll be able to get access to instead of shipping fairly early if he wants it, and will do so. Nice. High Persuasion hand too, looking pretty good. Leto's got Diplomacy as well as Signet Ring. So I would like to see Leto hit Hardy Warriors, and then look to Signet Ring afterwards to Imperial Basin if he can get there. Chase the fold space here, and then use that to try and keep Ilban on his toes. A little bit awkward though, however, because Ilban is on his right, so he's not going to see a ton of use out of Interstellar. But we'll get a couple hits out of it. Goes Still Suits instead. Interesting. So he's not wanting to particularly challenge here. I think that would have been a nice spot to go Hardy Warriors, take the combat. The 2 Solari is also really good for you. Of course, you have lands around popularity, making super cheap Mentats. You are going to be battling with Ilban for that. So Ekaz is going to take it instead. He will not turn this down. He's going to get stuck in and get those 4 troops in. I imagine we'll see all 4 go in, and he does. And now it's back to Baron, and now Baron just hates his life. He's got both daggers. He kind of has to go Carfag here, I think. You've got to get them in. Get the 2 daggers. Hope you draw, like, Master Tactician, Ambush, even like a Tiebreaker might be good enough here. You've got to really... I don't really see what else you can do. I don't think it's worth early revealing. I don't think it's particularly worth looking to go tech negotiation here. I think you've got to get him with Carfag. Try and secure some Solari. This will power your ring later on, and he will definitely do so. Does pick up Tactician. Hello. Well, well, well. I think you've got to put them all in here. You've got to rock and roll. You've got to hope that EKAZ does not decide to put in further troops. Ilban's going to go tech negotiation, giving himself 6 to buy here. So looking to make a lot of sweet purchases. Lido up next. Lido to Imperial Basin looks fairly obvious to get the first ring bump. And I imagine we'll see that. Might also go Great Flat to take the spice early. I'm kind of unsure. A little bit unusual. He might go maybe Imperial Basin, go Great Flat next round, and then use that for maybe Conspire. I quite like that as Lido. Ooh, don't like this, because you can get a couple of slide from here, and then you can go to you can get Conspire will get you up to 7, and then that's your Sword Bastard ready to go for round 3. I think that's a pretty decent consolation for not having access to shipping, but declines against it, just goes to Arakeen, drawing a card. Don't like that move at all. I don't think that really does a lot for you. You're not putting any extra troops in either, putting pressure on EKAZ, so I think that's a little inaccurate there. I think a Conspire hit with Great Flat was looking good. EKAZ is going to reveal early. He might as well. He's got not much else to do, but this is going to cost him the combat. He's going to take Jamis. Jamis is a good card for him for the infiltration. Voice also taken. So this is good for Baron. Baron will win the combat. He's going to get a little fortunate here. Even though he didn't get access to Hardy Warriors, he's going to find his way there anyways. Has a couple to buy. Guild Chief Admin will be taken. Makes logical sense. 6 to buy for Ilban, who's going to hit Smuggler's Fox straight away. Good card for him. And probably going for... I like him. Imperial Spy is not bad here, but I think Liaison is totally okay. Lido will be revealing for 5. I would expect to see Lido go Truthsay here. Good card for him. Maybe might even go Imperial Spy as well. Might also go Liaison. I think either's fine. Depends what you want to do. Still think I would have gone Imperial Basin. I think that is a missed opportunity, but alas, this is where we're at here. Going Sardaukar Infantry? Well. Is Duke Lido going to go off the beaten track here? I think Imperial Spy is totally fine, and I like this pick. This is a good card to get early. Hit Wealth. Wealth's good for you. You trash it, get the Intrigue. It's a nice little concise card. Has 3 more to buy. Missionaria turns up on the row. I don't expect we'll see a ton use that. Even using Missionaria after Truthsay is a bit awkward. But alas, so Truthsay also taken. And Radofix will play the Tactician and take the win here. So he will take this one down. Surely will be going Spacing Guild, looking to shut out the Ilban as soon as he can muster. It'll be 3 Solari for EKAZ and a couple of coins for Duke Lido, and we shall continue. So second round, we would expect Ilban to go fold space with Seek Allies and then go ahead and ship. Don't expect we'll see anything any different here. Lido's got an interesting choice. Lido finds his Truthsay immediately. That's a nice card to find straight off the bat here, and I would be very interested in looking to hit Mentat with that later. Maybe, obviously you've got interest in Great Flat as well. I do still want to see Lido go Great Flat and then Conspire. You can also put in your 2 troops. You can have 6 swords, which is going to be pretty decent. It's not a bad conflict, this. Siege of Carfax straight away. It's not a bad second place for early game. Obviously, you do want to be taking the point if possible. But it's kind of up for the taking here. If Kamran, if Barsandcat here wants to take the point, he can go Hardy Warriors, and he's pretty much guaranteed it. So it does not have to go to Great Flat here. He's going to go Mentat first. I'm okay with this. I think this is fine. If you're going to go Mentat first and then to go Great Flat and Conspire, I guess this is fine. But now you're not getting your Swordmaster next round. So if you're okay with that and just going to live off Mentat for now, while Cameron's going to be busy going Interstellar Shipping, I guess this is okay. I'm going to need Kaz pulls Diplomacy and Signet Ring, amongst other cards. He's just going to go fold to Steel Suits. I think this is fine. Baron now has all his power cards here. Baron would love to have hit Mentat to get all use out of his cards, but he's not going to be able to. Going to just go Smuggling. Gets himself Blackmail. It's a nice card, but he won't be using it right now. I wouldn't expect to see. Obviously, the Interstellar from Ilban. And back to Lido here. So, again, I still like Great Flat and Conspire. I really think this is a good spot for this. But it appears he goes differently. He's going to go for the combat here. He's going to go Hardy Warriors, which I think is also fine. Put in 3 troops. You don't need to put in all 4. 3 should be enough here. But it's going to put in all 4. I think 4 is unnecessary. I think you're likely going to be hitting another city space at some point or another. Although, unless you're targeting specifically wealth, I guess. I still think it's unlikely with 3. You're probably good anyway, so... But we'll see. So Ikaz is going to hit Siege Tiber here. He's going to steal Great Flat, as Lido decided to give that up for the victory point. This is totally fine. Ikaz is going to take Missionaria with his ring. I don't particularly like this. I don't think he's going to get enough use out of this one here. He does have voice, so he's going to look to try and get some extra bumps out of that. But I still think Missionaria is a little... It's a bit speculative. If you don't draw either in your hand, you're struggling here. And unless you can get hold of more Bene cards, like the Sister here, for example, you are still struggling a little bit. Baron Harkonnen will be up next. So Baron's got both his Diplomacy cards. I would like to see him play Diplomacy, keep Seek Allies for the next rotation of hands. I don't think you need to be... I don't think there's a big difference between 3 and 4 Persuasion. Duncan Idaho is there, and Duncan is definitely a really good card, but... You're not likely to see it, you wouldn't think. Well, the Bene Gesserit Sister is obviously like your backup plan. I would like to save Seek Allies, though. It gives you more options the next couple of rounds. You need to be hitting Fold Space and shutting out Count Ilban as soon as you can. So if you give yourself more chances for it, then fine. Ilban, wow, Baron's just going to go for Spice instead. He's not even going to deploy here. He's just going to take the Spice. Now, what's going on here? Is he eyeing up some Snooper action, maybe? Could well be. Ilban's going to reveal for a couple, take a second liaison, I would expect, and does. Lido has one more action here. So wealth is available for him if he wants it. He has now lost Great Flat, so that is unfortunate. There's no way for him to recover that. So curious what he wants to do here. I think you got Chusei, you might as well use it. Secrets or wealth is fine. Wealth probably better for you here. You get more use out of the money. Give you free Persuasion to buy afterwards, and you probably go just a Liaison or a Sister or something. I think it's okay. You're a little bit scared of cycling out cards with the Trousseau ability and finding like your Signet Ring or Diplomacy. You're not obliged. You don't have to cycle your deck around. Might be worth not doing so. Lido considering revealing early for Duncan here. I think I'd rather just get the action in. Duncan's a nice card, but I don't think he's that good to be sacrificing actions here for. I think Truesayer is a little too strong here just to get some bumps going. Make a push on these 2 tracks where you're not going to be using your ring, and then use your ring to chase another one. Secrets it will be. I think this is totally fine. I think either way is good. Finds Quid Pro Quo. Hello, that's not a bad card for Lido. That is going to be a real potential for some agent stealing here. Alliance stealing, I should say, with Quid Pro Quo. It's a nice pickup. Aikaz is going to reveal for free. We'll take the Sister. Oh, and Baron Harkonnen finds his way to In the Shadows. Very fortuitous for him. He will be very happy to take that. Very strong card. One run is the next one out here. This will be of some interest later on in the game. Not right now. Lido will have free to reveal and doesn't have a lot of greatness to buy. I'd probably just take a Liaison and call it a day. I think this is fine. I wouldn't go for anything else here. Sardaukar Infantry, I just don't think's the right way to go here for Lido. Not this game. I mean, call it a Liaison and just maneuver on from there. I think is fine. And it does agree. So Lido will win the conflict, taking the point here for Karfag. Karfag always really nice to get in turn 2. You're going to get some coins out of that. That's going to really help Leo here. And a Spice and Intrigue for Ikaz. Picking up Refocus, which is fine. We'll move on. Round 3, another big combat here. Machinations is the next one. This is going to interest Ilban significantly. He's got troops in garrison, so I would expect to see Interstellar and then barreling into something like Hardy Warriors if you can. Oh my goodness me. Well, Ilban's picked up all of his Fold Space cards immediately. And Diplomacy and his Signet Ring. It's kind of overkill here. He's a little unlucky. So, bit unfortunate. Lido's going to go first, however. He's going to take Hagar Basin, taking 4 Spice, and will be spending 1 to chase with... He has to chase with the Spacing Guild. It's the only option available to him. Ikaz pulls his voice card, but does not find Missionaria. And this is the problem. This is why I don't like having Missionaria. Even with voice, like, if you have a sizable deck, you're just never going to see it enough. He's going to go probably Arakeen, hoping to find... no, he's not going to. He's just going to take the Spice here. Now, Ikaz does have access to Highliner here. And I would like to see a block into Interstellar and just make Ilban's life awkward here. Make him have to wait for the Interstellar shipping. I think it's fine. Also gives the chance for messing around. Oh no, he's going for Shuttle Fleet, I guess. That is he's suggesting. He's going to go Shuttle Fleet, take a Dreadnought, and he's going to use that to fund his War Machine, which I guess is fine. Ilban's going to smuggle here. This is going to get him his second bump with the Spacing Guild, cutting off Ilban Interstellar shipping. Gives him some troops as well. He'll be looking to get those in the combat with his Signet Ring. I'll be taking Solari here. I think Solari's fine. He's a bit nervous about giving Mentat to Ilban, is, I think, what he's considering. Doesn't want to be giving to Ilban if he doesn't have to, but I don't think he's going to make a big difference in this one. You've got Blackmail at the end of the day. It's not a disaster. I'd just take the cash. And speaking of Ilban, I would probably be taking Mentat here. You can go Mentat here and get free cards. That's pretty good. Worm Riders is there. Charm Directorship is in the row as well. I think this is a great opportunity to try and get a real high persuasion hand. And do so. But of course, has to go Interstellar shipping first, however. But I'm not against him picking up, going for Mentat if he can with the other fold space here. I don't generally like using fold spaces for, like, non-faction spots. I probably would have still used the ring anyways here on Interstellar. But I guess it's fine. But he's obviously eyeing up Charm Directorship. He has 5 Persuasion in hand, so he's very likely with a Mentat. If he can get there, or Arakeen, he's very likely to get access to Charm Directorship, unless he starts pulling daggers, which would be pretty unlucky. Has got 8 cards in deck, though, so it's a bit of a coin flip. He's not guaranteed. Mentat taken by Lido. I think this is a pretty nice, shrewd move. Pulls his Diplomacy card. Maybe a little unfortunate, but he knew that was going to be his last card here, so he's happy to keep Imperial Spy on the side. Ekaz is going to go taking Shuttle Fleet then. He can still pivot into Highliner if he wants, but I wouldn't expect that at this point. So, Dreadnoughting up it is. He will be going for Shuttle Fleet, taking bump with spacing, and I would imagine the Fremen. I would imagine we'd see a Fremen. He's got to try and contest Lido here. And does do so. Yep, seems pretty correct here. So back to Baron. Baron will take his Swordmaster. He has to do this now, especially that Ilban has lost Mentat access. So no reason not to do this. Finds Dispatch Envoy. That's a big card. That's a real nice one for Baron Harkonnen. That's a really, really fun card. Can do a lot of fun stuff with that. So that's going to be good for him looking to contest alliances here. Back to Ilban. So if Ilban wants to go for Charm Directorship, he has to fold space to Arakeen, I think. If you don't do it now, when are you going to have an opportunity to do this is the problem. I think this is a great spot to go for it. You're not guaranteed, but if you can get that bump on all 4 tracks here, that is enormous at this point of the game. Absolutely enormous. I hate using fold spaces for, like, city squares. But I think just getting 3 card draws here is significant. He's trying to, like, make it with 2, I think, with Signet Ring. He's taking a risk here. No, he's going to abandon it. He's not going to go for Charm Directorship. I think I would have been tempted to go for that. I think the value, it's only turn 3. I really think I'd be going for this. But he declines and decides against it. Figures it's not worth the risk. Just going to show up his Swordmaster for later on. And we'll go ahead and put the 3 troops in and hope he can just win the combat outright here. Lido's going to go Imperial Spy regardless. And he's going to just cycle through his Diplomacy. That'll be trashed for an intrigue. Ilban picks up Cole, which is a nice card for him. Oh my holy goodness. Duke Lido finds plans in plans. That is a ridiculously strong pull, and he should get some value out of that before the end of the game. Big find for Barsandcat. Real big find. Ekaz is going to reveal for 5. He'll be trashing his dagger with his coordination ability, allowing him to take that out. I would be not a big fan of the... I mean, I feel like I would have been going for Duncan here. That water is so good. That funds Research Station later on. That gives you water, so you can keep hitting Hardy Warriors, get your Dreadnoughts in, take the Fremen Alliance. I think I would have liked to have seen Duncan taken there. So Baron is going to go and say, all right, then, you don't want to go Hardy Warriors? I'll do it myself. And he's going to get stuck in here. And he does have Blackmail as backup, and I suspect he will use that to win this combat, though he will not require it. And also that gives him his Master Stroke ability as well. So very, very nice for him. That will give Beast his, probably the Alliance here. Ilban will not be able to compete. Ilban probably wishing now he had gone Arakeen. What would his next 3 cards would have been? Out of curiosity here. Next 3 cards would have been... He would have got there. He would have got there. He'd have had a... Showman Directorship was on the table if he'd gone Arakeen. You can't know that, but odds were in his favour to pull it. So, might be ruining that a little bit right now. Lida's going to reveal for 5. Vernydub has DC'd. Again, Vernydub playing from Ukraine. Obviously, we're well aware of the power issues over there currently. He does have backup power supplies that he does have to run for today. So that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Again, pretty insane to be playing from Ukraine, given the current situation. I believe he's actually in Kyiv. Pretty nuts. Anyways, Lida's got 5 to play with here. Duncan Idaho is just such a good card, and he will take that. I think that's going to pay some dividends towards the back of the game. Just reveal it, get some water. Good stuff. Vernydub is back here. So now I'll pass. If you're in playing this game with some DCs, hold off on the passing. It will mess the scripting a little bit. It can go a bit funky. So just be a little bit careful about it if you're participating. Free to buy for the Baron. Baron's just going to go ahead and take a liaison. We are running out of these very quickly. Fufif Hawat also on the row here. Very good card. So Baron will win. He will take the bumps as expected. He's going to continue to contest the Fremen Alliance here. Again, this is why I would have liked to see Nikaz take Duncan Idaho here. You need that war to be contesting Hardy Warriors here and contesting these victory points. Speaking of water and victory points, next combat here is Desert Power. Very, very strong here. Again, this is a fantastic candidate for hitting Hardy Warriors here, although no one currently can. So Ikaz is going to go ahead and steal suits here to secure the Alliance, try and keep it away from the Baron. Has to do that for sure. Makes sense. Baron Harkonnen has no access to interstellar shipping. He doesn't pull it. He has nothing. Little unfortunate here. We're going to search his deck. It's kind of going to give the game away, but Baron Harkonnen has not got it at all. 2 daggers, 2 diplomacies, and commits the argument. That is kind of unfortunate. That's going to annoy him a bit here. So I suspect we'll see probably just the trip to selective here, and does make the best of a bad situation. Start culling out some cards you don't want in your deck. I think this is totally fine. He will cull out, I don't know what he'll cull out. Cull out the reconnaissance card, I think that's fine. Sick Eyes will also be gone. A little unfortunate not to find Guild Ambassador there, but that's the way it goes. So Interstellar taken for Ilban. Bonus trip for him there. He's going to get a couple of cards. That's a real stroke of fortune for Count Ilban there. He will be gratefully happy to take that. Ilban also pretty stacked for this fight here. It's going to be hard for people to contest this fight outside Ilban. Although Ilban does not have access to Hardy Warriors. No one does currently. No one can get there, which is kind of insane. So, interesting how we're going to proceed here. Lito's going to be up next. I wouldn't mind seeing Lito go Mentat here. He's got both daggers in hand. Probably wants to see what's going on. You want to be cycling more of your influence cards. You want to be finding your signet ring. I don't really like anything else. You could go High Council, I guess, but I don't think anyone else is going High Council right now. I think you can hold off on that. Maybe you can go Mentat, then High Council. You can spend some time here and wait. You want to be depriving Mentat from Ilbard as much as you can as well. So I like this play here. Truthsayer turns up. That's a nice card. Can cycle out his dagger, get a decent influence going, perhaps. Maybe make a challenge for Chome Directorship, maybe. Ekaz is going to be up next. Ekaz reconnaissancing. Going research station. Using his water now. Little risky here. He finds 7 persuasion. Does not have 8. He is short of Chome Directorship. So if he can go to tech negotiation, I imagine we'll see that. Chome Directorship pretty big for him here as well. It's good for all players here, Chome. Still very strong here. He does have refocus as well, does he, Kaz? So he can draw into his other cards, and most likely he will get his 8th thing. So Chosen Directorship looking good for Ekaz here. I don't see anyone else getting there first. Should be secured. Baron up next. Baron does not yet have In the Shadows up and running. Requires 2 Persuasion with the Bene Gesserit, so he'll be looking to reveal that. Kind of curious to see what Baron wants to do, though. I'm not against smuggling with Guild Administrator here. Sets up for Interstellar next turn. You can trash like one of your daggers out of your hand as well. I imagine that's what we'll see here. And will do. I think this is totally fine. And get rid of a dagger. Yep, and does so. This seems pretty strong. Ilban is going to be taking Swordmaster. Lido's still got a couple of actions here, so I would like to see Lido probably go Wealth again. I think it's going to be a good track for you to barrel here. You should be able to secure that alliance. And again, you've got plans within plans. You want to be hitting these faction spaces as much as you can here. You should be getting 1 point out of that. If you can get 2, that's really good. You got Quid Pro Quo as well for later on. Don't need to rush that. So I'd like to see Wealth. Maybe even find your Diplomacy card or your Signet Ring here. And that'd be really good. Take out your dagger. And again, Wealth is going to be really good for you just to keep the pressure on Ilban, and does. I like this move. I think this is really nice and fairly concise. Pretty feels a load of objectives here. I think this is really strong. Good solid stuff from Lido. Lido should be looking to take out his dagger here. But he's not going to do so. I don't particularly like that. Refocusing from Ekaz. So does get his 8th bump here, and he's just going to straight reveal for Chosen Directorship. Yep, as we see here. So that is going to be a bump everywhere. That's a nice find for him, and he'll be able to cull this out of his deck most likely later on after reveal, getting the coins. So that'll be pretty nice. Good pickup for Ekaz. That's also bad news for the Baron as well, who was looking to make a push for the Friendly Alliance, but it's not really on now. Baron's going to go High Council. He's going to just get that in here. He's eyeing up Fufihawa, so he'll be making the push for that. Back to Ilban here. Ilban has 8 Persuasion now, but it's too late. Chosen Directorship is gone. So he'll just be putting troops into, I assume, Carthag. Giving more money to Leto, though, however, which is a little annoying. That does give him access to Swordmaster. But he'll be okay with that. Finds Private Army. That'll be good later on. This could be a good way to put a dent into a Baron push later on. Back to Leto here. I'm not really sure what I want to do here as Leto. I'm actually not against going Tech Negotiation here and taking Holo Projectors. I think that's really good for you. The extra Persuasion won't be bad. It's still fairly cheap. Sonic Snoopers you could also go for, but the intrigues you've got currently are pretty good. You could go Imperial Basin, but it's not a big fan. I don't like Arakeen. You could draw into your Diplomacy or your Signet Ring, and you don't want that. If you're going to go City, go Siege. This is risky. Oh, he does find his Signet Ring. Yeah, that was the problem. I didn't like that. Asking for trouble there. Really didn't need to do it. And your Signet Ring is so good. So I think there was a card too many there from Duke Leto. Didn't like that. Fufia taken from the Baron. Ilban's going to reveal for 7. Probably taking Worm Riders here. Second Missionary on the deck here. The row's getting kind of quiet now. Scout, Sardaukar. Assassination Mission, I'm not against taking, but I suspect we'll see a Worm Riders pick. I would like to see Worm Riders and just use it as an agent action for the 2 spies. I think that's totally fine here. Don't have to reveal it. People underrate, doing an action, getting 2 spies. That's really significant. And we'll take that. And Ilban is going to reveal for the 4 here. Recruiter as well. So the row's gone kind of quiet here. So players are going to have to largely make do with the cards they've got here. It's not great news for Lido. It's not great news for Ekaz either. Baron and Ilban with better decks currently as it stands. But yeah, really, I didn't like that Arakeen. Even if you don't find either of those 2 cards, like 1 in 3 times you do. And you just hate your life when you do. Don't think that was worth the risk. Anyways, Lido is going to go ahead and he's going to reveal for 4. I think if you're going to go for anything, maybe take Assassination Mission. That money's good for you. If you just reveal it, that's a Mentat next round. I'm not against going Assassination here. You've got a deck size of only 12, so I think you can afford. I think you could afford spending it for one, and you might flip it and find like a decent card for free, like another. There's some decent options. Leo's considering Missionaria, and he's gonna go for it. And Bene Gesserit's sister also turns up. Okay, sister's not too bad. I guess that's okay. Missionary is going to be a bit difficult to use, I suspect, but it is what it is. Combat will be resolved here as stands. So Leo is going to take Desert Power here. Pretty cheap, easy point here. A War on a Spice for Ekaz. An extra Spice for Leto. He won't complain. Probably about right, and we'll move on. So it will be Ilban. It'll be Baron Harkonnen to begin here. Sort through the Chaos is our next combat. Kind of interesting to see if there's going to be competition for this. With a lot of people who would like Mentat in this game, so there might be some fighting for this potentially. Kind of unsure. Ekaz will definitely be looking to get in his Dreadnought to put some pressure on. Baron Harkonnen finds in the shadows again. Thufir, Guild Administrator as well. I did be playing Thufir first. Don't need to be using Guild Admin right now. Take the bump up and down. Probably... I don't know what you want to do for Persuasion here. I guess Emperor? You're not likely going to get the Fremen Alliance here. With Jamis in hand as well, it's basically out of reach. Could also go Bene Gesserit. I guess this is also okay, but I think I would have been tempted to bump that in Emperor. You don't really be visiting those spaces anymore in this game. But you got In the Shadows. I guess that does the job. So I guess this is fine. Yep, and as we're seeing here straight away, Ilban doing as I suggested here. Use it as an action. Get the spice. That's going to be really good for you. Don't need to put any troops in just yet. Plenty of time in this round. But it's going to opt to do so regardless. Okay. Leto does have access to Swordmaster. Doesn't have to go for it right away. His hand's a little tricky. Duncan Iglo in hand here. You would want to be revealing that specifically. Yeah, a bit awkward for Leto, this. Not a great looking hand. I actually don't mind selective breeding here. Your entire deck is available to cull. And you want to be trying to cut down 14 cards is a little sizable. You're going to have 5 Persuasion in hand as it is. You might find ways to do some cool stuff here. Maybe there's a world you find Spice Must Flow. Because the row is kind of not very good. You either want to have like 9 Persuasion or very little. So I think this is actually not a bad shout for selective, but he's going to decide against it here. He's going to go Mentat, I guess. I actually don't mind going Mentat here. It's not the worst. Siege Tiber being prepped up here. Now, this is interesting. Is Duke Leto considering going Hardy Warriors here, perhaps? We shall see. Interesting. Didn't expect that. Ekaz is up next. His Signet Ring's not doing too much now. We'll probably take the Assassination Mission if he can. Just to look to trash at some point, get some money. Doesn't have to go using his Conscript ability, however, and decides against it. Baron up next. Yeah, it's always awkward when you get Guild Admin on the front deck here. So he's going to go Mentat so that he can trash it later with Guild Admin. That's what we'll see here. Has 8 Persuasion. He's not quite there yet for Spice Must Flow, but I think he's going to eye up an Arakeen trip, maybe. Dreadnought buy for the Ilban here. He's going to go Invasion Ships, as of course he's now being blocked from interstellar shipping. So that's going to be his retort there. He does have a Negotiator Cube, but I was about to point out to him that he has that, but it's not my prerogative to do so, so I will refrain. Leto, again, has a second chance at selective breeding, but it kind of looks not so good now. Is he really going to go Hardy Warriors here? Or does he maybe can go Steel Suits, and he just rushes water here and just kind of makes life awkward? No, he's going to go Fold Space. Okay. So you go ahead and take that. At some point, Duke Leto is going to want to go to Conspire or Wealth and take that alliance at some point or another. Leto also giving up his Swordmaster as well, which he has no access to, seeing as he uses Liaison there. So Leto happy to live without the actions, which is a little curious. I don't think he's going to get anything for his troops, sadly. Doesn't look like it. Back to Baron Harkonnen here. So if he wants to go Arakeen, he could, but it's really hard for him to get Spice Must Flow this turn now. It's really tricky. to get Spice Flow and use his cards effectively. So I wouldn't be surprised to see in the shadows to Arakeen here. Wouldn't be okay with that. Yeah, Ilban forgot to put his troops in. He will do that now. Rewards are mandatory in Dune Imperium. You can't choose to not have them unless it's a trash or something with an arrow. I think that's what he's considering here, Arakeen. It looks pretty good to me. See what you draw. If you don't draw Spiceless Flow, it's not a big deal. And if you do draw Spiceless Flow, you don't have to use the ability and you just take the point. He's going to go take Negotiation instead. And he will not use it, so he's just going to buy the Spiceless Flow and call it a day here. And that should be fairly clear from the players. That's what's going on. To go in the shadows here and not spend a card, they know that is coming. So that'll be 0.6 for the Baron. Yet they're saying you don't want to use the ability. And he's like, nah, I'm pretty good. Just move the camera out slightly for you guys. I do apologize. Again, I will get these a bit more properly set up. I just haven't had much opportunity to do so. It's been pretty busy. You can see the score here. It'll be fine. By the way, so just missed. So Ilban went to Siege Tybra oh no, that wasn't late. What even happened there? I didn't see. I was busy there. I do apologize. Ilban, I don't know what Ilban did. I have no idea what Ilban did there. Meanwhile, so Lido has revealed getting the water. Not buying anything. I would have been tempted to buy one more Liaison and just call that a day, but, you know, I guess this is fine. Vernydub up next has an action in hand. He will be going Carthag surely here. Getting those intrigues. Having just one intrigue in hand instead of 0 just makes you immediately harder to play against. So I would definitely like to see that here. Finds Grand Conspiracy. Now he's already got a Dreadnought already, so that's going to be interesting here. He has 4 influence with the Fremen here. He'd need a Spiceless Flow and High Council for the other conditions here. I think that's very gettable here. It's definitely he's going to have to commit to it, is Ekaz, but I think there's potential there. Baron just revealing for the point. And then Ilban will continue on. Again, I have no idea. Oh, did Ilban just go Imperial Basin? I guess is what he did, Imperial Basin. I just couldn't see it. Oh, no, he invasion shipped to Interstellar Shipping. Sorry, I do apologize. Ilban's not going to buy for 4. People kind of being a bit skittish. Kind of scared to buy off the road and reveal big cards. And then Ekaz is going to he has 4 to reveal, but he'll take the swords here. Should definitely take the swords here. He's going to go ahead and remove the reconnaissance card there. I thought he took out a liaison for a second. He'll take the swords. Will not buy. Does Ilban want to pay for Private Army? He will decline against it. So Ukaz is going to take this one down. He's going to take the combat, a intrigue and 2 Solari. Just a couple of coins for the bait for Ilban and Lido, which is not what they were looking for. Ekaz as well finds Charisma. That'll be really good for his Spiceless Flow. So Grand Conspiracy is not looking too bad here. I think there's great potential there. Next up, round 6, last before the conflict freeze, is Siege of Arakeen coming up here. It's really about first place. I think the Solari is kind of not really valuable at this point. Ilban looking very good for this, though. Ilban will want to hit Interstellar first. Does he want to take a tech while he's doing this? He sacrificed it. He's happy to go Great Flat. He does have invasion ships, so he's not concerned about not getting to invasion ship to Interstellar, I guess. Wants to take the spice here. I think Highliners could be incoming here. He's prepping for this in maybe not this turn, but next turn. I think he's trying to prep for it. Leader's going to be up next. There is no Mentat, of course. It is already taken, so it will be Swordmaster instead. Ekaz up next. Ekaz has not got a great hand here. This is really awkward for 4 actions. This is a very poor hand. Not a lot going on here. Very limited access, and doesn't really have a way of generating more either. So this is really bad for him. No selective breeding. Not a lot going on here. So curious to see what he's going to play. Yeah, this is really horrible for Ekaz. I would just go Haga Basin, I guess. Take the spice and then kind of reconsolidate. But he can also go into Stellar Shipping as it is open. I guess I don't hate this. I'd probably take it with the Emperor here. You're going to be finding a way to there at some point, but goes there anyways. Makes life a little bit nicer for Ekaz, I guess. Takes the money. I don't know what he's doing with the money, but he's going to take it. He's already got Swordmaster. Oh, he's going High Council. That's why he's prepping High Council up. Makes sense. Baron's going to go Steel Suits to get the 2 water here. Kind of threatening Research Station, perhaps, most likely. Doesn't choose to put any troops in, which is notable. I think that's fine. Ilban up next. Ilban's got both his Fold Space and his Diplomacy card. He wants to be using both of these. What do you want to do here is Ilban, though? I think Hardy Warriors is very tempting and is being threatened by everyone. It also gets you your point with the throne as well, so I think I'd be going Hardy Warriors here. He's just going to take more spice. Well, what's going on here? This is interesting. Gonna decline against the influence here. He's got very little influence going. He's only got 3 victory points. It's a little interesting. I think that probably was a chance to go Hardy Warriors, but declines. I guess he reckons he can win the combat with Private Army. Doesn't need the troops, but he needs to be hitting these factions. He's really struggling there. A lot of points on the table still. Back to Duke Leto. I don't hate Duke Leto deciding to go Research Station. I don't totally hate it. We might see it. Problem is, are you going to buy Spice to slow this turn? Difficult. Very difficult here. So maybe Araki in a better spot. Wait for a better Intrigue hand. A better Persuasion hand. Use your Reconnaissance to get there. Finds his Fold Space card. That's a nice find. That's really good for him. Needs to be hitting these faction tracks. Needs to be getting his bumps. Take it with the Bene Gesserit. That secures all 4 original points, but needs a bump with all the rest for 2 more. So has work to do still. Ekaz is going to go High Council. That's part of his Grand Conspiracy conditions. That'll be good for him. Baron Harkonnen up next. Baron, I don't know if Baron wants to get some troops in here. He has 7 Persuasion in hand. He could go Research Station. He could go Research Station to get to 9 and get his 7th point and get the second Spice Must Flow. I kind of like that. I don't really see what else you're doing here. Savfk feels not very great. Smuggling, I don't think it really helps you anymore. Imperial Basin feels kind of bad. I think Research Station is the way to go here, and he does agree. And he will find Spice Must Flow here, so that's going to be good for him. Buys a card while he's at it. Picks up Urgent Mission. That'll be good for later on. That'll be very good for later on. I don't think it's any good right now, though. That gives 11 Persuasion for Radofix. Moving on to Ilban. Ilban's only got 1 move here. Do you use Signet Ring or Diplomacy? I think Diplomacy is the better card. I don't like Signet Ring. What are you doing here? You're going to put in more troops to Savfk? I guess. No, he's just going to cash in his bump here. Don't hugely like this. I mean, fine, but I think you're going to have opportunities to get the smuggling later on here, so... And I'm not the biggest fan of this. He's going to get Solari. He's eyeing up going to High Council as well. And that's going to be that. Back to Atreides here. Duke Leto. So, you've got your Fold Space. You should be using this. You need to hit these faction tracks. I would probably hit Wealth and make a push for the Emperor Alliance here, but he's going to go Secrets instead. I guess that's also fine. Finds Reinforcements. That's a big card here. Really, really good value. Free Solari for free troops you can put into combat if you reveal as well, which is pretty good. Finds his Trusair card. A little unfortunate to find that, I suppose. But sometimes you're going to find your Diplomacy style cards, so it's the way it goes. There's a problem you draw on your last action. You don't know what you're pulling into. As a poor Atreides player, this is never an issue, but... Anyways, Ekaz is up next. So Ekaz is going to fire in Hardy Warriors here. He feels like he's going to make he's going to put a couple of troops in, I guess. I don't really... He's just more securing the alliance and just making sure that Baron doesn't get to it, I guess. Not the biggest fan of this Hardy Warriors. But he's just going to think he's got to get some Slary in. It's fine, I guess. But I think I would have been going Wealth and just secured that victory point up there. I think the Alliance was probably safe, but I can understand being a little concerned. In the Shadows is in the game. It's a bit scary. Can't hate securing the Alliance. Also, Garrus is up for next turn as well, but you are kind of loose, kind of light on resources here, so it's going to make life a little tricky. Baron Harkonnen's got a free punt to do whatever he wants. He's going to take wind traps, I guess, to get some water here. Oh, he's going to go Snoopers. Okay. He draws an extra one. Picks up Poison Snooper. I suspect this could well be fodder here. Urgent Mission, he'll be keeping. Blackmail, I'd be keeping. Blackmail is a free use from the Fremen influence. It's doing nothing. So I wouldn't really be trading any of those cards out. Maybe Poison Snooper, I guess. We'll see. Anyways, Ilban just reveals. I think he may have bought a liaison. I didn't see. Lido is going to get hold of 3 swords and a water. I don't think he'll buy for 4. People are kind of scared to buy from the Imperium row here. They're happy to keep the row kind of quiet. Spy Smugglers you could go for, but I really think as Lido, I think you're fine. Your deck is 14 cards. I think that's sizable enough. Gonna pick Recruiter here, doing a bit of shipping. A second Sardaukar Infantry turns up here, so it's a quiet row. Everyone's gonna have to make do with what they've got now and make the best of their decks. Ilban is going to reveal, get the Solari, and then trash Charm Directorship with his coordination ability. I would imagine we'll see. Taking one more liaison for the trip. Ikaz is going to trash his Charm Directorship, isn't he? There he goes. And Baron will buy Spice and Slow. Does have enough. Just gets him to 7 points here. I would say probably going into the tier 3 conflicts, like Baron is probably favorite here. Lido's pretty close. If Lido can play shrewd and get his plans online here, like there's a lot of endgame potential for Duke Lido, so he's far from out of this game here. Dreadnought being put on to Ilban. Ilban ready to go Highliners here. He's ready to go to combat. Ilban is going to make a late push and he's going to be dangerous here, so this is very close. Ikaz probably with the least prospects at this point. But still has potential, you know. If he can buy Smuster Slow and get a Dreadnought, he's in business. It is economic supremacy. That is a monster pull for Ilban. All 3 victory points online here with an absolute ton of resources. No one's going to get to Highliners before him either here, so this is really big. Here we go. Fun begins. Duke Lido finds Missionaria. That's really big for him as well. He needs to be able to play the Bene Gesserit Initiate first, however, in order to get that. But I think this is okay. I would be going a research station immediately with Bene Gesserit's sister. You've got to try and get a Spice or Slow point here. It's too important. And then use Missionaria to get a bump somewhere. Diplomacy as well. You can get a bump somewhere. And that's one of your plans within plan points secured immediately. I think that's too important here. You've got to really be aggressive here. Maybe even go with plans your diplomacy to wealth and then use quid pro quo for the extra point and take the alliance. He wants to hit he wants to hit the he wants to really hit Bene Gesserit, but he can't do it. He's gonna go for artillery instead. He's gonna give up the research. He can research station later, I guess. So he's gonna do that with Missionaria. I guess this is also fine. Yeah, he's in no danger there, so I guess this is totally okay. Ikaz is up. Ikaz has James, which isn't doing much now. Missionaria is kind of dead, so we'll just see Interstellar, I think. Or is he going to look to put troops in? He's going to just start putting troops in here. There is still a point to fight for second. Even if Ilban wins all 3 here, second place is still very much to fight between red and blue here. Red's got a really good hand, though. In the Shadows, Fufi is in hand. Urgent Missions there. Blackmail. So, Red would love to try and end this game now, but I don't see how he can secure 3 points. I think it's a bit too much here. I would be going secrets, I think, almost every time here with Foof here. Just to take the alliance and keep it away from Yellow. You know, Yellow is got some dangerous moves here. He's going to use Poison Snooper. He will find his Signet Ring. He will not be trashing that. But I think Secrets is the way to go here. I don't think any other move makes a lot of sense. You can't use in the shadows to buff and get bumped with the Bene Gesserit. It's the only trick you can't do. So I think either Fufir or Diplomacy to Selective Breeding is fine. It doesn't really matter which one. Depends if you want the extra intrigue. You've got Sonic Snoopers, you can argue for that. But you should be hitting secrets, like, I think pretty much every day. Because it just means it's harder work for Leto, and you know that Leto is going to make a push for this alliance here. He set himself up to do so. Wow! Duke Leto doesn't care. Baron Harkonnen even doesn't care. He doesn't go for it. Whoa! I am astonished here. Duke Leto's going to be happy to take that. Ilban finds himself to guild authorization. There could be some shenanigans here with the spacing alliance with that. Interesting. Duke Leto must take this alliance here with Missionaria and Research Station. He's going to do it the hard way. I guess this is also okay. I mean, I probably would have still bumped it with that, but I guess this was fine. He's got Quid Pro Quo. So give him 2 intrigue. Stage Incident is really good, but he's going to struggle to use it. Finds Infiltrate as well, which is also fine. So lots of really good intrigues here for Leto here. Needs to get use out of them. Ikaz is up next. Ikaz might as well Diplomacy to still... I don't know. He's going to Selective Breed. It's kind of a rubbish hand here for Leto. Leto's just going to hope he finds 7 and reveal for a Spiceless Flow here. He does get there. So he can just straight reveal for Spice Must Flow, and I suspect we might see that. I cannot believe Baron Harkonnen decided not to take that alliance. I think that is a miss. I really think that's a miss here. He's just going to urgent recall. He figures that it's better just to do it this way, and he's going to use it this way to get hold of the... and get his alliance that way. I think that was a miss. I think this game is likely going to go another turn. You could have done it then, but so be it. Going to take Mimic here. But does he take the bump? Does he keep fighting for Bene Gesserit, or does he make his point for Emperor? Interesting call. He's going to fight. He's going to go for it. Finds Ambush. Another battle card there. But it's going to be difficult for Baron Harkonnen to win this turn. Leto has Quid Pro Quo in the back pocket, though, and I suspect we will see that being used here. He'll use that probably straight away just to give him extra bump, and then use Missionaria, I reckon, probably for the Emperor, I think I would do. To the Victor, also taken for Baron Harkonnen, not doing a whole lot there. I think he's going to struggle to use that. That might be Snooper fodder here. He might Snooper that in Ambush, I don't know. Kind of unsure. We'll see. So Ilban is up next. Ilban's got to be careful here. He does have Smuggler's Fopter. He wants to use it, but he's running out of triangles. But he's going to get troops in first here. Now, how many does he put in? The lot? I guess he puts in the lot here. I don't really heavily like using the lot here, but I mean, it's 3 points. It's pretty significant. Oh, he does Infiltration to... he's always got Infiltration, so it don't matter where Smuggler's Fopter. Mentat taken for the Duke. I think this is okay. Although, I mean, he will still be able to go Research Station, so I guess this is fine. He's not guaranteed to get it. I'm surprised he didn't play Quid Pro Quo, though, on the spot. I think I would have put that right away. Just to get that bump. You know, if Baron Harkonnen has a way of getting there. He has Infiltrate. He has... Well, I guess you've got Infiltrate. But if he finds, like, a bribery or something, that's a real problem. I think I would have played that straight away. Maybe he was hoping to get hold of another Diplomat, like his Truthsayer maybe or something, and get more use out of Quid Pro Quo, but I think I would have been playing safe there. Ikaz is going to go up next. Ikaz has just got to fire in troops here and look to secure second spot. Victory point is worth it. Get them in. Unfortunately, he finds a dagger. Oh, I mean, he's still fine for his Spotless Flow point, I guess, actually. He's got Charisma. Probably would have liked to have kept that for next round if possible, but I guess it's okay. Remember, of course, Ikaz must find his way to a second Dreadnought before all is said and done to get his extra point going. Also needs to get another bump with the Bene Gesserit as well. He needs 4 influence with 2 separate tracks. So he will need to find his way to the Bene Gesserit before all is said and done here. And that might be tricky. Back to the Baron here. Baron must realize it's going to be hard for him to win this combat now or get to second position. So he's going to maybe try and pivot here. I don't know what you pivot to, though. In the shadows you discard that, but what do you use in the shadows for? I guess use in the shadows just to start making progress on the Emperor here. You've got no way of improving your Bene Gesserit situation. It's a bit of a tricky one, this. What would I do here? I mean, a lot of spaces are gone. I'm not against just going siege. Take the water. I'm not against this. It denies it to other players who might like it. I think that's why he's going this way instead. He's going to go the other way around. He's going to go for wind traps first to take the water, and then he's going to go and look to go siege Tiber at the end here. I think that's the point here. Spy Satellites turns up in the row here. That's a big card. That is valuable to some players here. That's really good for Ilban if he can find his way there. A lot of players can get value out of that. That's a massive card for Ilban, actually, if he can find his way. Can't right now. Oh, he could! He could infiltrate, set negotiation for it, but he declines. I don't know. I don't love that. I honestly think I would have infiltrated and used the dagger for tech negotiation and take Spy Satellites. That's 2 points in the back pocket. You're not ever going to get the Bene Gesserit point at this rate. I think I would have liked to have seen the infiltration, steal Spy Satellites there. I think that's a bit of a miss. But Ilban also has Larcenous Thoughts for the Spacing Guild Alliance. Baron's got to be careful here. Baron's going to be in some trouble. Baron needs to be protecting his alliance within the shadows, otherwise he probably is going to lose it. Leto uses his Missionaria to further buff the alliance. I guess it's fine. Baron Harkonen's about to have all sorts of troubles here. Didn't go Research Station, interestingly. Just went to Arakeen. Don't like that. I think I would have been barreling in there, but okay. Because Leobarn's likely going to get there, but so be it. Ekaz buys Spice Must Flow. Baron Harkonnen's got to make a choice now. He must realize he's in trouble here. Siege Tiber is the play. You're going to get first access to Research Station next round. You've got to go there. I think it makes you've set yourself up to do this. I think it's just a question of alliance here. You could fight for Bene Gesserit. No, you can't. Not within the shadows. Man, this is tough. This is tricky. But I think you've got to protect your spacing alliance. You've got to be a bit concerned. You know, Ilban has access to Highliners still. He has infiltration to Interstellar Shipping. He can get bumps there. He may have intrigues that could give you some problems. I think you've got to protect the alliance here. Kind of sucks to be passing up bumps on the Emperor, but you chose not to go there earlier. Oh, Baron Harkonnen is going to live dangerously. He's just going to take the reveal bump for the Bene Gesserit. He's going to fight for that. So here we go. And he's going to look to deprive the point from Blue in combat, which he's going to be able to do here. This is bad news for Vernydub. And Ilban is just prepped here to steal the Spacing Alliance. This is really bad news for Baron Harkonnen. He's going to be really unpleased to see this. It's Leto's reveal. Leto's going to just pay for reinforcements. I don't think I'd put them in. I think I would just be garrisoning them and leave them there. Oh, Leto's not used Quid Pro Quo yet either. Oh, he's living dangerously with the Bene Gesserit Alliance. Oh my goodness. Oh, and Leto's going to put them in to prep up for Staged. So he's going to take his point there. Oh, Leto, I think you got to use Quid Pro Quo now. This is really dangerous. Really dangerous, this. Man, alliances have got about as much future as ice cubes in this game. They are all perilous. There's the bump from Baron. Baron's ready to steal that alliance, but he's going to have he's going to have spacing taken from him. It's going to be an all over the place finish, this. Baron is going to go ahead and take the victory point here from Blue. Nothing that Blue can do about it. They have no response here. Last liaison's taken. Combat begins. Leto stages for the point. So I'll be taking those out there. Blue must pass. Red steals the victory point in second place. Ilban's going to take all three. So Ilban is going to finish this round at 9 points. And Alliance still on the cards. This is really significant. Lido's going to have 8. Baron's going to have 8. Ekaz sitting at 6, but with some endgame potential here. So that is going to be that. So here we go. It's going to be a tight finish, this. Ilban favorite here. Baron Harkonnen's going to steal one alliance. He's going to lose the other. Getting greedy, maybe, is the Baron. Hoping, assuming his alliance is not stolen at 4. He's going to get a horrible awakening here. Ekaz gets his Sparkler's Flow, though. He must get a Dreadnought and needs to find a Bene Gesserit bump. There's a point for both. That's real significant. Oh, it's 8 points for Ilban, not 9. I do apologize. So this is totally in the air here. This is real close. Next up is Karfad. Karfad is, I don't know why the point hasn't been given to Yellow here. Yellow definitely has the flag here, so Yellow gets the troop. Not entirely sure why that didn't do anything there. Out of chat with Asmodeus about that one. Anyway, so Ekaz is up first. Ekaz has 11 persuasion in hand. He has his Bene Gesserit bump. He has to go secrets or selective breeding. He's got to do it now. The bump, he gets a point for just doing this. It has to be selective breeding. Then you go Dreadnought later on. I think this is too important to pass up here. Baron Harkonnen doesn't find a way. He has no way of getting to the Bene Gesserit. He can't take the alliance. He hasn't drawn it. He hasn't drawn it at all. This is disastrous for the Baron. Real bad news. Ekaz is going Chow Murky. Whoa! What is going on here? I did not expect this. How do you not go to secrets here? Oh, he finds War Chest. That's a point. Expedite. I don't think he's going to get any use out of that, but War Chest is just a straight point here for endgame. So I guess that's worked out. Chow Murky's good in group stage. Remember, there's points for all positions here. Not just about winning. Every position gives more points for the group. So Chow Murky, I think, innately has extra value. Baron Harkonnen's going to have to scrap his to the victor card here. This is horrible. He did not want to do this. Feels horrible, but this is his life. Can he find a miracle card here? Bribery, finesse. Oh, no! Are you kidding me? Wow! That is disgusting. That is absolutely hideous. Duke Leto paying the price for not using quid pro quo. The alliance is gone. Should have used it earlier. That's where the mistake was. But Baron getting crazy lucky there. Baron's got 9 persuasion, and he's got 10. He has a free action to use here. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Could go just... He's kind of tempted almost to reveal and call it 10 points. He can't do it, though. He's going to lose his alliance. He's got troops he wants to get in as well. Baron's got a lot of things to do. Yeah, that's a disgusting pull for Leto, but quid pro quo was there. I guess he's going to get the point anyways. He can go wealth and quid pro quo and get a point back that way, but really should not have been losing that to the Baron. I think that is a mistake there. Baron's going to try and get troops with Arakeen to secure his Spiceless Flow. Baron must think he's good here. It's going to be hard for people to win, but Ilban's got Worm Riders. He's got Private Army, so Ilban looking decent for the... It's going to be a close finish. And here comes the steal. Here it comes. Oh, Miracle is also on the deck as well. He should probably take that, but he should take Spy Satellites, and he does. And here comes the steal. And here it is, and Baron realizes, oops. And so that is gone. Horrible news for the Baron. That's going to put Ilban massive favorite now in this game. Some unfortunate maybe, but you gotta play what's in front of you. Baron declined to protect it further. Got greedy, has lost it. Leto now has to go here for this point. Doesn't have to quid pro quo now. He can do it later. He's in no rush to do it. He will discard that for... Whoops, that's a few too many cards. I'll give Yellow a hand with this one. Few too many cards on offer there. So Quiproquo's coming in, finds Arrakis recruiter, so be able to put a load of troops here. Might be able to get some in-game spies. Could be useful. Ekaz has a second opportunity to go here. I mean, to go to Bene Gesserit for the point. Has to do this, surely. You gotta go. Selective breeding's no longer available to you. You spent your spice on Chow Murky. You gotta point out of it, so you can't hate it. Gotta go secrets here, right? Gotta go secrets. Voice is there. Oh, what are you doing with Voice? You can't go Dreadnought. You're really gonna abandon Grand Conspiracy? Oh, I don't like this. This is really, I don't like this at all. He's going Siege Tiber. What is going on here? Not a fan of this play. I think the 2 points of Grand Conspiracy are almost guaranteed. He's gonna go get the Dreadnought point. But he can't. What's he gonna do though? He can't get the Bene Gesserit point. There's no way he can get there. I really think putting these troops in is kind of rubbish, and no one's going Dreadnought space here. Not this late in the game. So I think blocking that is... I don't think this does enough here. I think maybe slightly worried about how this game, getting blocked here, but you've got to go for it first. But never mind. Baron Harkonnen has a free action, I think. No, he doesn't. Oh, that's only 8 persuasion. Oh, Baron realizes he's in trouble. He realizes he's like, I've got to win the combat now. He does. He 100% does. Mentat for Ilban. He'll be happy with that. Oh, he doesn't have enough for Spice Must Flow. But he's going to be coming in hard here. Baron must win this combat. If Baron doesn't win this combat, his game is over. Ilban wins. Ilban wins this. He is comfortable winner in the end. Here's the bump from Duke Leto. Leto will want to bump somewhere else. And then use Quid Pro Quo in order to start funding his plans within plans. He finds Demand Respect. That's kind of unlucky. That's a really, really good one for Leto, but it's too late in the game. I would be bumping... It doesn't matter which one you bump. Just don't bump the Emperor. You don't need to. Yeah, I think that's fine. That's 1 point for plans within plans. There's no way Leto can win the combat here, so this is a little unfortunate. Green again saying, why aren't you bumping that? And should be fairly quick to realize what's going on here. Should realize plans in plans is in hand now. Back to Ekaz here. Everyone asking questions, but it's like, he knows what he's doing. So back to Ekaz. Ekaz has a ton of money. He needs to protect that. So Ekaz is going to go Dreadnought here. Again, I real kind of a shame didn't decide to get stuck in with the... I think that's just a point left on the table there, but alas. Now Dreadnought's out now, and now people are pretty sure you got Grand Conspiracy, so they know that you've got at least one in-game point. I think you need to be a little bit more aggressive here and just go all out. You're in last place here. You got nothing to lose by trying to go for all of it, and if you get none of it, then you haven't lost anything. Baron Harkonnen has no further actions. He has nothing else to do here. He is out of positions. Is he miscalculated maybe? I don't know. And he had nowhere else to go. He could have just gone smuggling, I guess. He's just going to go fishing here. Just going to buy all the rows here and try and hope he gets something else. Just buys a load of cards. He knows it's the last round. The game is over. Stilgar, nothing of any use here for anyone else. No buying gets. Research station for Ilban. Ilban's going to win this game here, I think. Ilban looks pretty good. Red has no intrigues either. Red is going to have 9 swords in hand here. And a couple of troops in. So it looks like Ilban is going to win this one. A chaotic match. All over the place. But a decisive steal of the Spacing Alliance left unattended by the Baron. Is going to prove pretty critical here. And still finding a... Somehow the players let him get Spice Satellites. I don't know how that happened. Had to deny that from Ilban. That was just victory for him. This is why he didn't use it earlier. He had Quid Pro Quo. So 8 point for Leto here. Leto is still fighting for... he's not going to use... he has nowhere to go. He's also out of options. Arrakis Recruiter lost. So he's just going to go ahead and take some swords here. Has artillery. Gets him up to 12. But it's not going to be good enough here. Does not have the firepower in the backhand, unfortunately. 2 swords for Ekaz. Ekaz looks like he's going to finish this possibly last place. I don't know. He's got 2 end game points in hand. It's going to be tight. See how we go here. And Ilban's got a free action. What would I be doing as Ilban? Unfortunately, Wealth got blocked, so there's a point left there. So he's just going to go ahead and get troops in. Ilban's won this game. It's over. Probably a deserved victory, I guess, for Kamran. I think probably played the best overall here. Somewhat fortunate of some of the infighting from other players, but you gotta play what's in front of you, and I think rode the waves well enough. So Kamran, deserved winner. It's gonna be tight here. I think Duke Lido is gonna win on tiebreaker here. Oh, he has plans in plans. He has a 9th point. So Barsandcat, I think, is gonna take 2nd position. Radofix 3rd, and Vernydub probably 4th, but I'm slightly unsure. Oh no, he's gonna pay War Chest! Oh no! Oh, he's gonna just go for it and hope he wins the combat. I guess you kind of have to. But the bad news from Kamran, a further blow to Vernydub, kind of unfortunate. Wishes he hadn't done that now. Nothing else to play, so Kamran wins. Nothing else to happen here. What a chaotic game. Good fun. Great entertainment. Nice way to spend an hour, I won't lie. A lot of fun, this. But Kamran's going to finish on about, like, 13, 14 points here or something. Decisive winner. Lido taking the point with plans for 9. And that is going to be good enough for 2nd place. Let's go and have a chat with the players here. A pretty chaotic game, but I think it was a lot of fun. So I will say, I think out of the 4 games I've commentated so far, I think this has probably been the most fun to watch. this was a wild game.
There were so many good intrigues that just like whoop, 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 victory
Yeah,
points
a lot
all
of things.
around.
I mean, Red unfortunately left Spacing Guild unattended, and Kamran found his way to see it. It was pretty decisive, I think, in the end. Obviously, he had a lot of points as well, a few bits and pieces. But there was a lot. Yeah, there was a lot going on there. So I think Vernydub, I think you only get the 1 point from Grand Conspiracy. You don't get 2. I'm pretty sure you don't have full influence anywhere with only one faction.
Oh yeah, only 1. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. That would explain it, because I was wondering why you weren't hitting Bene Gesserit earlier. That must be why. Yeah, I was a little unsure, so it did make the biggest difference in the end.
It was so hard.
But yeah, this was a chaotic game.
Yeah, no road to buy any good card. It was hard to manage.
Yeah, you had a few rows. You had to kind of make do what we had. I mean, I think like green and red probably had the best decks going out of the 2. Lido did a really good job of using what you had, though. I think it was a pretty deserved 2nd place in the end.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't a tricky game. You got much more use out of Missionary than I thought you would do. So
This is true. I bought only these 2 cards.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, they're both good cards, and just a load of liaisons. So you really particularly needed, and that's fine. Just 2 cards to base around. Use Worm Riders for its action, get the spice that way. I think is pretty strong. Them letting you have spy satellites was slightly egregious, but it's the way it went. I mean, you got to play what's in front of you. So, but I think this was a fun match regardless. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, it was really good. I had a game today with the Baron as well. At first, at the first player, and I didn't had my faction accesses. And this game I was like, okay, it's not gonna happen twice. Lightning doesn't track twice. It happened. So in my opening hand, I didn't have any faction access. So yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. It was a bad opening hand, unfortunately. Obviously, that happens to anyone.
But
you've got to have backup plans.
Ilban had like 6 points and like gained like 8 more points in 2 turns. Like whoa.
I mean, yes, the way it goes sometimes. With steals and it just kind of worked out. It was a big last turn.
Should have saved my alliance with Bene Gesserit.
Yeah, that was brutal. I mean, you had the chance to protect it. I mean, you're unlucky that Baron found finesse or bribery. You're unlucky, but you could have made it just a non-factor and secured it. So that was unfortunate. Didn't cost you in the end. You got away with it, but I think there was a definite scare. So that's going to do it as far as here from Group Q. Very entertaining game, a lot of fun. I think when the players watch this back, I think they'll look at their first couple of rounds and realize there was maybe some choices they could have made otherwise. There could have been some different moves they could have played. I don't think it was the best opening couple of turns from everyone I've ever seen. But in a way, they're more fun that way. You know, when you've got like these kind of different things going on, people make these interesting choices. I think they're fascinating to watch. So you know, if everyone just played the same every single time, I don't think this game would be half as enjoyable as it can be. So I think it was a good spin, and yeah, best luck to the players the rest of the tournament. Regardless, thank you all for your company here on Hidden Assets. We will see you all in the next conflict for more from the Golden Path Internationals. Take care of yourselves. We shall see you soon.